Now note this here. After David moves and encourages himself in the Lord, and God had already told him that everything was already done, so David had to take a faith walk before he moved. Amen. Let's put a peg there. After he consulted with God, don't forget now, when they was getting ready to, his own people was getting ready to stone him. And when he consulted with God, and God had already told him that, look, all is, shall I pursue? Shall I go after them? He said, look, go, because you shall recover all. Now note that David didn't go back to the people, amen, with fear, wondering if they're going to stone him. He had to go back with a message of encouragement. Look, the Lord say go. You'll catch that tomorrow. I know you lost your sons. I know they're taking your daughters. I know they're taking all your belongings. But the Lord said he has already restored everything back to us. So sometimes you have to not only encourage yourself, Sister Levy, we have to learn how to encourage others. Come on, that's in our midst. I don't care how bad it looks. Amen. God has worked this thing out for our good. Amen. Amen. So that's where it does. And then God's working in favor again. Found one of the Egyptians that was left behind, and he was so faint. Amen. After the battle, some of them had gone. Amen. And they was doing their party, but he was left behind. Somebody say, look at God. Son said, Papa, why was he left behind? He was left behind to do the work that God had birthed him for. They was going to need somebody to show them, come on, the camp of the enemy. But watch how God worked. I told y'all before. You remember when Rahab, they went in Rahab camp, and Rahab was a harlot. She made her business selling her body. But look at God. God used a harlot, come on, to give his people favor. And that harlot's whole family, watch out, right, was saved because she had given God's people favor. I tell folk that, look, you better watch how you treat me. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you better watch how you treat me. Amen. Because if you treat me right, God will give you favor. Amen. Amen. Yeah. So here it is. The Egyptian, they say, well, who are you? And he told him everything they had done. We didn't went in the camp, and we destroyed, we burned down Ziklag. And look, he didn't try to hide anything. He spoke with a tone of truth. This is what we did. And here I'm before you now, weak, I'm faint. And guess what? They fed him. They nourished him. They brought him back to strength. And when they brought him back, and they heard after he testified what they had done, David said, will you show me the camp where they are? And look what he said. Will you spare my life? And he said some more now. Will you spare my life? Will you swear before God? You swear before God that you will spare me, and you will not give me over into the hands of my master. That's automatic execution. David said, done. And when they got to the camp, Drexler, it was party time. They had no armor. They had no weapons. Amen. Because they were all partying. Yeah. They were partying in the abundance of the spur, knowing that they had victory and they had captives. And while they were partying, unaware, destruction came upon them all. Amen? Amen. So what I'm saying is that God has predestined everything you go through is only temporary. Amen. Amen. And I don't mind, I'm going to help somebody right now. I don't mind going through some things because I realize now that I'm never alone. God. He's always there. There's no, look, I get messy. I told him yesterday, I said, you know what? I got in the car and left home. When I left home, God was at my house. That's when I left him, Willie. Got in the car, drove up to the church, opened the door. Lo and behold, when I got in the church, God was at the church. Wait a minute. I thought I left you at home. But when I open up the church door, I'll meet you. You greet me here. Wait. Hey, man. I'm everywhere at the same time. Before you left, I had been beat you to the church. While you were driving, I was there. Amen. And the awesomeness of God's presence should be appreciated by his people. Amen. I'm so glad that I have a relationship with God. He knows me, and I know him. Sometimes I make application, and I'll put 3 people behind the altar here, and just one of them would speak at a time. And I'd ask them, I said, who spoke? And they said, oh, Brother Byron. Well, how do you know that was Byron? I'm familiar. Who that is? Oh, that's Donald Jr. Well, how do you know that's Willie? Well, how do you know who it was? You can't see him, but we are familiar with the voice. That is awesome. That's how God, now all of us talking to God at the same time. And he's familiar